welcome to Long Lost Friends. I'm Elizabeth Eve King.
And I'm Andrea Goyan.
I'm a painter, performer, writer, Pilates teacher, animal lover, and biologist.
No, I'm a painter, writer, performer, Pilates teacher, animal lover, and okay, I'm not a biologist, but
we're lost friends.
And today we're going to talk to Mariana Williams about how to do a 6-minute story. Hi.
Hi, welcome Mariana, but first, show us your pets.
Okay, here's my guinea pig, and he's a long-haired, and his name is Elvis, and he's a good boy, and he's got a sweet face. Look at him. Look at this fine-looking animal.
So cute.
Oh, he is so cute.
I'll show you his tummy.
Oh, does he have a stripe down his tummy?
I don't know.
Like a brown?
He's just, I can't really say, but if you like this one, I could just show you one more guinea pig. I have two. You want to see the other one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, there's Elvis. Bye.
Hi, Elvis. You're so cute.
He's so cute.
Oh my God, look at those little eyes. And here comes, I
love the noises they make, the noises, the little weep noises. They're
That's
so cute.
Okay, now if you like more of a pinto cow horse,
Oh.
Here's a cowboy for you.
Oh, he's like, what's going on?
Look at the little, it's like he's got a little punk haircut too. So cute.
Really cute.
Just like everybody says about their animals, they all have different personalities, you know. Yeah, I wonder if people that have bees or a beekeeper, if they think the bees have different personalities.
They do. I've read things with bee researchers, and they're always, they recognize the different bees.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. So, oh, how cute.
Isn't it cute? This is Buddy Holly, and the other guy's Elvis.
So you have
okay.
Cute musical group.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Buddy Holly.
Bye, Buddy
So,
Holly. you know, it would be more cachet, I suppose, if I was raising Arabian horses, for example, but it's guinea pigs. It's a really nice $40 pet. I'm encouraging anyone to buy.
And they're very cute.
They're very cute. Very cute.
They live 5 to 8 years.
Oh, good.
So can you tell us a little bit more about how to tell a 6-minute story?
Well,
yes, and your whole storytelling, how you got into it and stuff.
Well, like most people, I listen to, like most of your audience, I'm sure, listen to NPR. So we learned about the moth. And the moth is a 5-minute true story without a net, without notes. And they have it in major cities. If you don't know about the moth, you can go to themoth.org and hear free stories. It started in New York, so the stories were pretty darn exciting because they were a lot of stories of firefighters and policemen and, you know, dramatic stories. As you can imagine, New York has tales to tell. But Los Angeles, I had moth storytelling shows also. Evie, have you gone to the moth in Los Angeles?
We went together once, I think.
I went once. I went to one once, yeah.
Right.
We told stories.
Yes, right. So there were things that I loved about the moth. Well, one thing about the moth is it's hard competition because everybody's a screenwriter, a comedy writer. They're all in the business, and so it's not a housewife telling about potty training their 2-year-old. It's not like that. It's heavy duty stories. But I did win when the subject matter was music, and I told a story about. I told a good music story. Let me just say that. And I won, and then I went to the semifinals. I mean, I went to the finals, the Grand Slam at the Echoplex Theater in front of about 300 people. I came in second, which, so what, but you know.
That's great.
That's great. It is good.
Yeah. And it was pretty darn thrilling. But the things that I liked about the moth, obvious, but there's things I did not like about the moth. And those are the things like driving there, waiting in line a long time, but mostly when you put your name in the hat, to see if you can tell a story. Evie, I think I was with you when there was only 11 names in the hat. And they said, everybody can tell a story because there's only 11 names in the hat and we're going to pick 10. I was 11.
Oh,
I had practiced my story and I had such a good story. I had rehearsed in my mind. So you can never relax. You're there for 2 hours, keep
Oh.
waiting and waiting. And the subject was fathers. And I knew that I was going to win because my father was buried in a West African casket, handmade casket. And who can top that on Father's Day? You know, so actually I did get to tell it in New York on Father's Day, a different year. But anyway, when that happened to me, and I was there with Evie that time, and they didn't pick me in the first 5, and then there's intermission. Now, remember, you can't really drink. You can't really get into the show so much because you're remembering your opening line. You can't use notes. So I hated that part. Then it gets to the 9th storyteller, then it gets to the 10th storyteller, and then I'm out and I was the 11th. So that did it for me. I'm going to start my own storytelling show. And I did that in Long Beach 10 years ago. And I've been doing Long Beach searches for the Greatest Storyteller for 10 years.
wow.
And I did the things that I wanted to happen differently. I live in a huge city. Long Beach, California has, 50 million people or something. I'm really bad with numbers. Lots of people. And so here's what I did. I'm the only storytelling show, and there's others in Los Angeles besides the Moth. I'm the only one that gives away money for the prize, $100 prize for the top story of the night. I'm the only one doing that. Number 2 is I'm letting the audience vote, not just a few tables of people like at the Moth. I've been a judge at the Moth too, but I let everybody in the audience get a vote. Then secondly, the third thing I did was instead of just having the crowd pick who they wanted, I picked 3 authors, storytellers, local authors, to have a 5 count for their vote. So if somebody brings a lot of friends, they don't just necessarily win because the authors have 15 votes that they'll throw to whoever they want. So that's what I did differently. And it's been great.
So how do you recommend that storytellers approach a 6-minute story? What are the rules? What do they do to make it happen so quickly?
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to tell a story in 5 or 6 minutes. I've actually taught workshops in this subject, and I came across with a really good method. But I wanted to say, if you're going to, on the thing about starting a storytelling, because I told you how I started mine, and Evie was asking how you started. And what I did was, and I recommend this to anybody, and this is how the gentleman who started the Moth, his name is something Green, Green. This is how he started it. You started at your own house. And you tell people before they come, think of a story or a poem that you want to tell. And so I had like 15 people at my house, and I had a board, and they could sign up their name, whatever they wanted to tell a story, their name. And so for like half an hour, everybody has a drink and they have chip and dip or whatever. And then we go up to tell a story, and they know that they're going to tell a story. They know what order they're in. And we weren't timing it. And then the prize was like a Hershey bar. Everybody, who thought they was the best. I don't even remember how we said who was the best. But that's what I recommend. I did that many times. And that's how the Moth, if you want to be a member of the Moth and start your own, it's called the Moth Up Group. That's what they have you do. They have you start stories at your own house. Then you have to record them and send it to them. And too much red tape? No, I'll just do it my way. But that's how you guys can do it at your house. And if you do, you could include a poetry reading or any kind of creative writing. I would definitely say a time limit on it. And I've done it at my house since I've had Long Beach searches, because around the holidays, I want to see my friends. And what you'll find out is that once they come to storytelling at your house, and it's in its own box. I mean, you drink, you walk around, you talk to everybody, and then at a time it's ding, ding, ding. All right, we're going to have stories now. And when people love it, And families can do it too. And I found out all kinds of things about my family members that, like young teenagers that are in their own world and they don't want to, it's really hard to pull them out. When they tell a story, you learn all kinds of things. If somebody has the stage, the floor, the attention for 5 or 6 minutes, then everybody listens at once. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. And people want it. So do you think you'll do it, Andrea and Elizabeth?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to. I don't know if I know enough people I think would tell stories of where I am here, but I would love to do it. I wonder if I could try it down, but I always try and come to yours when I'm around. I mean, it's a storytelling, but unlike a lot of literary functions I've been to, there's a sense of community and family and support that is totally different. It's like we're all just friends. Suddenly we're all friends.
It's totally not competitive. You're right. It's not.
Yeah.
I've been to several in Los Angeles, but I haven't ever thought of starting one myself. But I love the idea of starting at your home first. I mean, just having a few like-minded people come around, have some friends, family. It's a great idea.
I think you can do it even if you have 4. If you have 4 tales and then you have your own. And then you can bring a friend. It works. I've done it with 23 people at my house before. That's about the most. And also another suggestion, if you're going to do it at your house, is have it beginning and ending time, or they never leave. You know, you open bar over there, you got going yammer, 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 you know, and then you got the people that go, I don't want to go because what if we want to leave? So you have a beginning and ending. That's very important for a successful night.
Good point. Good point.
Oh, and so how do you tell people, look, you've got this story to tell, but we all know people get lost and da. So how do you get a good 6-minute story?
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you my theory on how to tell a 6-minute story. Well, let me have this up here. There we go. There's just 5 elements, and you start with the real world, and that's the setting. So you go, I was in high school in a math class. It was the last day before summer vacation. Okay, that's it. We got it. You know, I'm in Phoenix or something like that. That's all you need. You need this real world where you're at. The conflict, you go, you know, you can tell the real world in like half a minute. Then you go to the conflict, and the conflict is, I didn't really plan something ahead to make a specific story, but my phone's ringing.
Oh.
Okay, the conflict. Okay, the conflict is the guy who's sitting in front of me. Oh, the guy who's sitting behind me is copying from my paper, and it's a final exam. I'm making this up right now. I should have thought of something. Okay, that's the conflict. Okay, who cares? We've all the setting there, the conflict's there. Not so exciting yet, but here's where you get to be a good storyteller. The suspense and the suspense, what could go wrong and what did go wrong. So that was a very mundane example I just gave you. Okay, the guy who's copying is a gang leader. What if he's a gang leader? What if he's my ex-boyfriend? What if okay, so the person who's hearing the story doesn't know what it is, but then you can say, I'm afraid that to tell the teacher that everybody's going to beat me up when I come out of school. I'm afraid that I have a crush on this guy. I'm afraid because what if my answers are wrong and then he gets mad at me? See, you say everything that could go wrong. Everything that did go wrong is real. Like, I'm going to get caught. I'm going to get in trouble probably. But what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if this happens? And what if that happens? So you use all the what ifs so that the audience doesn't know where it's going, but you get to use your imagination. That's the only time you do. Then the solution is the truth. What I turned around and said, hey, you know, get out, Jack, you know, and plus you're ugly. No, I don't know. You say however you handle it. And then the resolution.
Nicely handled, Mariana.
Plus you're ugly. And then the resolution is I always sit on the back row of every class I'm in, so nobody's behind me. Okay, that's really simple. I've done that story outline with fairy tales, with the 3 pigs. You can do it with anything. And the whole fun is the suspense of not only what went wrong, but what could have gone wrong.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah, really good.
I also, I remember you talking about like giving people nicknames and stuff.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Avi. We did a storytelling workshop together before, and we had a good time and some really good students. Another thing is when you're telling a story, you can't give too many details. You only have 5 or 6 minutes. Keep the characters down. Keep the characters down just to a few people. Then so you can say, so Redhead comes up to me and says, blah, blah, blah. And then this little kid, the rugrat, comes over and says, da, da, da. So give everybody nicknames because audience can picture things faster with the nickname. Stereotype people, give them funny names so that and it's a funnier telling of the story when you do that. Secondly, if you have any ability to use accents, use it. It's like, well, call me a hog and butcher me for bacon. I didn't see that coming, So maybe, the person didn't really say that, but you can just use a funny accent as much as you can so your voice modulates. Now, everybody is not gifted with accents like I am, but you can change your speech pattern. So you can say, okay, for example, that stupid example I just gave about I'm in class, somebody is behind me. I think they're copying the paper. So the teacher walks up, I was wondering when you're going to be done with your test. So you can change your speech pattern so we know it's another person talking. And then then you go, I'll be done in a minute. So that helps when you're looking up, you're just like, so you get a little bit of the drama, which Evie's very good at because she's an actress. But and then sometimes you can even go, I told you, I meant it. Yeah, well, I didn't believe you when you said it. You can even kind of do that back and forth because as corny as it sounds, this all helps.
Yeah. Good tips. So I think we should ask what is the weirdest, best, or most interesting thing you've learned this week?
Okay, yeah, we like to do that when we end our shows, and I'm going to go first because I always do, or have twice. So I had a couple of stories accepted. That's always nice. But my big thing is, thank you very much. A lot of birds die because they fly into windows, and people have tried, putting little bars and stuff. But now scientists have found that there are elements in spider web that we can't see, but birds can see these. That's why birds don't fly into spider webs. So they're developing this glass where this silk is woven in to the windows in a pattern so that the birds will see it and not fly in and get killed.
That's amazing.
Great. Or you could just plant some spiders out by your window.
Yes.
That's true. Maybe just have like all those. Stop cleaning. Stop
cleaning. I love that. I'd love to stop cleaning the spider webs. Okay. I'm going to quickly tell mine. I just got introduced this week to an artist that I cannot believe I had never been aware of before because he's phenomenal. And it's Andy Goldsworthy. And I highly recommend you look him up if you haven't. He uses all kinds of nature elements in his art, and it's all very, is it ephemeral that I'm thinking? It disappears. It's like he does, a lot of the art vanishes. He'll do these beautiful leaf patterns and then the wind blows them away. It's stunning. And there are some documentaries about him too. It's beautiful work. So I recommend looking that up.
Cool.
What's the name of the documentary?
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I don't have it on me. How silly of me. There's a couple. I can put it in the, I can put it down somewhere. Maybe we can put it in the notes.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 documentaries on him. But yeah. And Mariana, did you have something fun or weird or noteworthy or?
Okay, I'll tell you something funny later, but not at the time. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I just got off a phone. I had just gotten off a phone call with somebody, and I didn't like what I heard. I was kind of upset by what I heard on the phone, and I was like processing the information, and I was sad about it. And then I went into the other room, and my husband's like, "What's wrong?" And I go, I don't want to. And he goes, "No, tell me, what's wrong?" And I go, well, and he's like, "Is it your birthday coming up and you're feeling really old, right?" And I go, and I'm like, "Well, it wasn't that." He goes, "Oh, your son's back on drugs again, right? Is that it? Is that it?" And I'm like, "Well, no, that wasn't it really. Wasn't really it either." He goes, "Oh, the house is a mess and these people are coming over in about an hour. Is that what it is? Is that what it is?" I'm like, "None of that. Stop. I started crying, and he was like, "What is it?" And I go, "My friend Lola, she can't sell her house and she needs the money." And he says, "She's selling that house for $6 million. I don't feel one bit sorry for her." And I go, "Yeah, but she needs the money." It's so funny now, but I don't know if you guys have had that experience where somebody is, keeps guessing what's wrong and they're hammering you down, and then all these things. It's like, your car looks like shit and you got people riding in it today. Oh my God, is it it?
It's funny.
Yeah.
Very
Have you
funny.
guys been there? You ever had that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't think of all those rotten things. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing them up. All right. Well,
So this is the end of this section, but we'll
Yes.
be back talking to you in a little while.
yes, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you, Mariana, for coming on. Young Lost Folks.
MarianaWilliams.net.
Yes, and there will be links that they can go to. And oh, who's this?
This is
Oh, beautiful cat.
Stormy just tried to climb in the guinea pig pen. They're not afraid of her. They're all pretty chill together, but she just jumped in. Look at that pretty face.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. Hello, Stormy. Do you want to eat a guinea pig? Yes, but they're big. Okay, talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.